The Brandon Peters Show may contain explicit language and detailed plot points. For more information on the show, stay tuned to the end of the episode. And now, here's Brandon.
Welcome back to Old Space Show. I am Brandon, and this is my co-captain. All the way past the new space into the old space, it's Jim.
I'm in the old physical space, but the new headspace.
The new, ooh.
There you go.
And that's our episode for the week. We will not top that. Please tune in next week. All right. This installment of Old Space Show continues our episode-by-episode travelogue through the second season of Space, 1999, where the moon and the men and the women are knocked out of orbit, wandering through outer space, the population of its human-built colony, hoping to stumble upon a new home. Today, we are talking about the 23rd episode, The Immunity Syndrome.
Commander Koenig and company find what appears to be a habitable planet, but it is ruled by a single being who, in its efforts to make contact with the Alphans, unwillingly puts them in peril of their lives.
This one is directed by Bob Brooks. He of The Tabor, which is the episode he directed previously.
The Tabor.
The Tabor, the purple guy.
How can we forget The Tabor?
And it's written by Johnny Byrne. Johnny Space 1999 Byrne.
Yeah.
As I've come to know him.
Got a bunch by him.
And it's guest starring Nadim Sawala and Jack Claff. Why Jack Claff, who's uncredited? Well, we got another Star Wars X-Wing pilot. It's Red 4.
Well, yeah, we got the whole squadron.
I know. Like, I think if you were, I think they made George Lucas like, I want all these guest stars of Space 1999 to be the Rogue Squadron, Red Squadron.
Well, to be fair, they shot at Elstree, you know?
Yeah.
And that's right there. So, yeah.
Right.
Makes sense.
I wonder what costuming and set things came from Space 1999. Like, I know that, like Bosch, his outfit in Empire came from a Doctor Who costume from the 60s that was lying around. Like, there's like weird British like stuff from TV. And someone should just do a documentary on like the weird stuff that wasn't Star Wars's, but wound up in it. And we know it from it.
I would be surprised if, like, you know, how a lot of one of the things that really struck me about Star Wars when I first saw it as a kid was like how it was like a used future. It was like a lived-in kind of used future. So in the 70s had a lot of shiny stuff. I wonder if that was like some of that was like junk left over from Space 1999 that was just repurposed. You know?
That's true, and the Alphans uniforms the kind of like color aesthetic could be the Rebel Alliance ones when they get to the base, like the.
Sure.
I'm not saying that they are those, but like there's an idea that's here first that maybe someone's like, you know what, that works, and they're probably hiring costume designers and prop makers from local, not shipping them to the U.S. But who knows? It's an interesting thing that Jim and I's documentary will be out in 2043. Or no, 2042 for the whatever anniversary of Star Wars to talk about where it came from. Support our GoFundMe and Patreon. Yep. That does
my OnlyFans.
Yeah. Here we go. So this one, Sawala, the guest star, has been in Secret Agent, Shaft in Africa, Old Dracula, The Sweeney, Zed Cars, Spy Who Loved Me, Lionheart, Son of Pink Panther. So those are some nifty credits that this dude's had. So,
a lot of British produced movies there.
Yes. So let's dig in. So Alpha has discovered a planet.
Is it a habitable planet?
It might be. That's why they look at these. In its west quadrant, preliminary reports suggest that it is capable of supporting human life, which would mean if it is, it's
habitable.
It's habitable. A
habitable planet.
A reconnaissance team has been dispatched to substantiate these reports. Although the planet appears to be uninhabited, an alien structure has been discovered. Koenig calls the survey party in closer to base camp until they learn more. As Tony and Joe Lustig,
beloved character Joe
Lustig of Space 1999 fame, they head back. Joe hears a sound. As Tony walks ahead, he investigates and sees a pulsating light at the source of the sound. It's our big alien effect for the episode, folks. He screams as it drives him mad. Tony hears and returns to help Lustig, but too late. Lustig pulls a gun on Tony, who is forced to defend himself. They struggle. The weapon goes off, killing Lustig. As Tony tries to let Koenig know about the accident, he's driven mad by the same thing as Lustig.
Yay, Tony's going to go insane. Woo!
Yep, if you were wanting to see the acting prowess of Tony, this is your episode.
Oh, man, is it ever? Is Tony acting as he's never had to act before? It's stretching all of his thespian muscles in this one. I love these shows where just like a really bright, like Fresnel light and a reverb effect, and you have an alien.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. Yep.
Plus, and this alien uses that spotlight technology that we keep seeing in this show.
Yeah.
Like whenever something gets scanned, or they're trying to they're scanning something or a laser or whatever, it's always a spotlight.
Right.
Well, the next episode too it happened again, but this spotlight technology, this alien also has. Evidently, it drives you insane. So,
yeah, this episode is interesting because it's Tony centric and it lets the actor just go wild for it.
Some super overacting on Tony's part.
At least we know he has a pulse, right? Like,
yeah,
this is confirmation. But
it's great when he goes nuts. Well, I'm sorry, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but like he's just like growling and kind of mugging at the camera and away from the camera, like really going for it. Like if there was more, if they weren't on that sound set, that forest sound set again, if there was scenery to be chewed, he would be chewing it. It was great. Like you said, the acting was just nice 70s overacting from the television shows.
True,
well played.
I have to wonder, it's hard to discern where things come from when making a show with writer behind the scenes, but I have to wonder if this was an episode where we're the penultimate episode of Space 1999, you and I, and the
spoiler,
of season 2, and if you go back and listen to our episodes, Tony didn't work for us, like he hasn't ever. We're kind of like, what's he doing here? Do you think the people making the show might have thought too? And this was like, let's see what we have in this guy. If we have anything, and let's give him an episode to show some range and stuff. And maybe we keep him, maybe we don't. Like, I don't know. Those kind of things happen, but
I guess maybe I kind of feel like you're overthinking a little.
I might be, but it's coming at the end. They're introducing all these new characters, and I'm wondering if he's going to be shown the door. Like, because they're like, what? At the end of the day, it's like, well, shit, we should have just kept Nick Tate, and why did we even bring Tony in?
Where's Bergman?
I wonder if Freiberger's even heavily involved at this point because they seem to be moving away from some of the things he does. I don't know the history of this production well enough, but watching it and seeing how this is going in these last 3 episodes, I have to wonder.
You can't see me right now. You can't see it right now because it's a podcast, but I have my fist up in the air for Paul.
Yes, yeah, up in the air for Paul.
Never forget Paul.
I have to wonder if they're like, okay, this isn't working. Season 3 is going to have to do something else. There's ratings, and would Freiberger have come back? I doubt it. I wonder
if they even thought at this point there would be a season 3. You know what I mean? Because the first season kind of, from reading the historical stuff, it kind of like limped into the second season. I wonder if they even thought there would be a third. You know what I mean?
I think there was they were planning on one.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't like, because it was just getting to America, and like, I think it was we can or we can't. It wasn't like a sure thing, but there was plans, possibly. But
now, is this before or after Jerry and Sylvia split?
This is, I mean, they're split at this point. This whole season, they're split. That's why Freiberger's here. But yeah, it's I don't know. I don't have that. If Space 1999 fans, you know more than me, and you've been very chatty, informed me about this, but I see a production in these last 3 episodes. There is a noticeable production swing in terms of the way the show's directed, the way the show looks, the
more
type of
special
stories.
effects,
yeah,
more production value, more sets, more costumes.
The types of stories, new crew members that are regulars, like it's interesting.
Or on the other hand, maybe they were people leaving a sinking ship, and this.
True. Let's just throw all the money we got left. Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, returning to the episode, Tony runs off the woods. Koenig tries to contact him, but he crushes his comlink and keeps running like a maniac.
It's so funny.
It is funny. Lustig's body's found, and Dr. Ed Spencer, he's one of our new regulars for the final couple episodes. He pieces together roughly what transpired. A security detail reports to Koenig that they discovered Tony's crushed comlink and about half a kilometer distant, heading away from the base. Koenig takes them to try to track Tony down. At base camp, they decide to unbury the alien structure, as they were unable to penetrate it with their lasers or sensor scans. They find a control panel to open the door, but with no power. Alan notices some solar cells, and he uncovers more in hopes of powering up the control panel. He alerts Koenig to their progress, who in turn asks him to pick them up in an Eagle, as they have seen Tony and are about to confront him. Tony fires on Koenig. When he approaches, Koenig circles around and they fight until Tony collapses.
I love the chase music here too. It's that waka chicka waka chicka waka
yep.
chicka waka chicka ba-da-ba-ba-da waka chicka waka chicka. Very, very cool. And then meanwhile, Alan and the other guy's like, oh, I don't know what's going on with this. I don't know. Wipe this off. Hey, it lit up. What about that? How? I'm doing science.
Science and things. Doing it.
I'm doing it.
So Alan arrives with Dr. Spencer, who tells Koenig that Tony is slipping into a coma, but he needs to be returned to Alpha for treatment. Koenig contacts Alpha from the Eagle to tell them they found Tony and are returning with him. On the surface, 2 men die from drinking water that was tested and declared safe. Yeah, that is the funniest scene. Like, hey, you want to? Yep, okay. Like, something's going bad here. It's just this random off scene that's just like so forced in there.
They show the guy eating berries earlier. It's like Chekhov's berries. It's like, oh, okay. They would show this unless something was going to go wrong with the berries, and sure enough.
Yeah, they're just 2 randos by a fountain, like stream of water. It's like,
hey, let's have some of this fresh, clean water.
The dialogue surrounding it is just like, oh my gosh. Jerry Travis, you know Jerry from Moonbase Alpha? Jerry Travis?
Oh yeah, totally. Famous member of Moonbase Alpha, Jerry Travis.
I have all his trading cards. So
I have his portrait tattooed on my back.
Oh yeah. Good old Jer Bear.
Jer's man.
Jerry Travis contacts Alpha to tell them what happened, and his comlink shorts out while he's using it. Maya reaches Koenig to tell him what has happened, but loses contact with him as well. In light of the system faults, Koenig checks the Eagle's circuits before proceeding to Alpha. He finds that all the metal are corroding, and has Alan head back to base camp.
Oh, you got to water seal it in the springtime. The moisture will get in there and ruin all your bearings, and you can't even get it started. And
exactly.
I love when he pulled out like the circuit boards and they look like they were ancient. Like it was just so funny. They couldn't possibly have corroded that quickly, but it was cool. And then like everything in the damn ship starts exploding and sparking. And exploding and smoking and sparking, like everything. I'm like, Wow. Okay. They're using up all their squib budget this episode too. Awesome.
Maya's sensors detect a change in the atmosphere of the planet. Helena worries that Tony won't make it if they can't get him back to Alpha. On the planet, another Alphan dies from fruit that has turned to poison. The systems on Koenig's Eagle start to fail, and it catches fire. They crash land as the rest of the survey party helplessly watch from the base camp. Having survived the crash, the Eagle crew are brought back to base camp. Alan checks the other Eagle to find it had corroded as well and is unsafe to fly. When Koenig wakes, he is apprised of the situation. They are stranded, and if Alpha tries to send another Eagle, it will break up the atmosphere.
What will they do? What will they do? What will they do?
Well, I'll tell you what they'll do. They manage to put together a transmitter made of parts scavenged from the Eagle.
Coconuts.
From coconuts. That did
the
not
professor
corrode.
from Gilligan's Island helped out.
Right. Using the solar cells from the alien structure for power, they warn Alpha not to attempt to land. Maya and Helena decide to use a glider to get to the planet, as it is made of carbon fiber, and the atmosphere won't affect it. We have done science this episode, sir.
It's a brand new spaceship for the ladies.
The little orange rocket thing.
Yeah. Very streamlined. I mean, look, the Eagles look very utilitarian, right? They're kind of bulky and they're like a big box. This one looked like it was all sleek and streamlined.
Mm-hmm.
It's
sexy. It's a sexy ship.
You got Maya and Helena piloting it. I was like, yeah, okay. And you ship for the ladies this season. All right.
Yeah, those things have been sitting there how long, and they're just now using one?
I haven't used that model ever before. I don't think.
It hops right on top of an Eagle.
Plus, I noticed the way things change, like go from like a really habitable planet to like a real escape or whatever. Very much like the first season. Yeah, very much like the first season episode, The Last Sunset.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when they were all like on the beach frolicking, having a great time, and everything just like turned to shit?
Yeah.
It's like the same thing here.
Spring Break Alpha.
Call back.
That's the one where Paul went nuts.
Yeah.
All right. The solar cells on the alien structure become fully charged, and Koenig, Carter, and Travis, they investigate. Inside, they find remains of an alien sitting at a desk with a roll of discs in his hand. When placed in the port on the desk, each disc activates a holographic recording. This is what I call the cool part of the episode.
Yeah, this is finally like the decent part, like cool part of the episode. This guy, Travis, don't remember him from any other time before.
Mm-hmm.
And like when everybody else is doing stuff, like he just stands there. And every once in a while, they'll cut over to a reaction shot from him while they're watching these holograms. And it's like, Koenig and Alan, well, when you do this and this, and then Travis just kind of stands there like,
right.
Hi, I'm here too.
I love the guy who plays Travis. Looks like, Lando's not coming back for season 3. Who's our new captain? Let's make a new star. Let's get some old guy that has been in some things. And
he looks kind of like William H. Macy.
Yeah, a little bit. There's this skeleton thing that's cool in a chair or whatever. So the first one they try is of Zoran, leader of the alien expedition, explaining that his people perished and he too was dying.
I'm sorry to stop you here, but obviously their lapel technology is light years ahead of ours.
It is.
This guy is the giant. His lapel makes the lapel of the doorman of the Wizard of Oz, of the Kingdom of Oz, look small.
Right.
It's huge. He would get kicked out of Studio 64 for having such huge lapels. It's just nuts. And like the rest of him he looks like Admiral Andy Warhol.
Right. No, yeah.
Like vaguely naval uniform, but like with the bowl haircut. I'm sorry. Please continue.
With the braid coming down.
Yeah, and a big white braid. I'm like, how much I enjoy alien fashion, Brandon.
Right. Yes, I know. We party at the disco, the space disco. So he states that the only way to escape the planet is death. Bill Fraser, who is flying the Eagle, carrying the glider to the planet, alerts Helena and Maya that they are coming into range of the planet. They move into the glider to prepare for release into the atmosphere. At the predetermined altitude, Maya tries to launch but cannot. Bill decided to take them closer to increase their chances. He releases them when the Eagle develops a fault. Maya and Helena encounter a region of severe turbulence. The glider is struck by lightning more than once, and Maya has to alter course.
Oh, it strikes the windshield. Like, strikes the glass of the windshield.
The bravery of Bill Fraser. Bravery.
What a guy that was.
But, like, this whole thing with Maya and Helena trying to get... It is like, oh, crap. We only have, like, a 35-minute script, guys. Can we get a new toy in there and, like, pad this out?
Look, man, we built this model. We didn't use it for the door, for another episode. Let's just have them fly it down like a glider. What do you think?
We are going through the garage right now, and we have one episode left. Like, let's just do this. So, meanwhile, at the alien structure, Zoran's readings tell of a solitary, immortal creature that longs for companionship, but inadvertently kills those it wishes to make contact with by driving them mad.
Story continues. Hologram.
Right.
They kept changing about.
To hear more, but
click like an 8-track, you know.
Well, there's one where it's like, oh wait, he's coming back. He's coming back. There's more of this message.
Go to the library to learn more.
He also describes a brief period of lucidity before the death of its victims. Dr. Spencer shows up to tell Koenig that Tony is awake. Koenig leaves Alan to review the discs for any useful information they may have missed and goes to see Tony. Tony is awake and tells John what happened with Lustig. Helena and Maya appear to everyone's surprise, having walked from where they landed. Helena examines Tony and can find no permanent damage. Darn. Maya spends a little time with Tony, trying to comfort him.
First of all, I wrote two words here, all in caps. Tony! Exclamation point. Acting! Exclamation point. He's really like, I've lost the will to live. He has like Padme's disease, right? Like, he's fine. He just lost the will to live. I'm like, oh man, really?
Right? Yeah. He is lost.
But then Maya shows up. He's like, Maya. That was hilarious. Was something I wanted to mention that I think I might have forgotten to earlier. There's a part where Helena is looking over Tony's file on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
See that scene? And it says, born Florence, Italy.
Oh, of course.
Learned University of Firenze, Italy. Like all this, he has like no Italian accent whatsoever. And it's like all these Italian schools, and then the last one is University of Oxford. It was just pretty. I just thought it was funny. I'm sorry.
And then the next place he went, space.
Right. Well, it's like the episode with his brother, who had, Stuart Damon, who had even a worse accent than he did. But
right,
at least he tried for an Italian accent.
True. Jerry tells Koenig that they found another disc that may be useful. Koenig has Maya join him to look at it. It describes a protective encounter suit Zoran used to confront the alien being. He tells of a minor fault around the eyes that allowed him to see the alien, causing him to go mad. Alan shows Koenig where he found the suit. Koenig decides to reinforce the area around the eyes to try to contact the alien himself. It keeps the alpha rays out, Max.
Yeah. Are we not Koenig? We are Devo.
Yes. This suit. Let's talk about this suit.
You got to talk about the suit, dude. You know, when the guys in Times Square who are the human, all is silver, the human statues.
Yeah.
It was that with like a Cyberman helmet with the face taken out. It was hilarious. I love this freaking suit. And I remember I think it was Babylon 5 where they had a race of aliens that, like, if you looked at them, it would drive you nuts or something.
Or something, yeah. It sounds familiar.
Yeah, I think it's like something we've seen in sci-fi before. And then they have like a false face.
Yeah.
Painted on the screen, and you can see Landau's face moving under the false face. Yeah. I didn't get that at all.
It's creepy. Like, how do you breathe in this?
Why did they go out of the way to make like a mask face on top of the real face?
Is it something for the aliens? Maybe not humans. I don't know, but
I don't know, man.
It
was creepy.
It's cool and hilarious at the same time.
Yes, it is. All those things.
I would kill for outtakes of Lando doing this.
I would kill to see somebody cosplay that.
Oh yeah.
I would just lose my mind because
at your next local con. Yes.
Oh my God! Has anyone else told you they know who you were? Because I know who you are.
That's the first one to ever won. People keep shining their flashlights. Ah!
The Star Trek episode, The Immunity Syndrome. What?
Yes. Zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out, zoom out. Flashlight, zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. Because that's what happens when he goes to see the alien.
Oh my God, the zooms made me seasick. It was crazy.
They really put you in the shoes of Koenig there. Yeah, that day.
They should have had an epilepsy warning on this episode. Is what they should have had.
They should have. So he walks in there. The alien begins to try to communicate with light and sound, and Koenig talks to it. At first, simply mimics his words until it finds keys to communicate. When it does, it asks John who and what he is. John tells it he is a man. It responds that he is a voice. John tells it he is a living being like he is. It asks John to reveal himself, saying that he will be safe. Against all advice, John removes the protective gear. Good to its word that I did not harm him. Koenig calls in the others to show it that it's not alone, but one among many. I restored the planet to its non-poisonous state, and Tony is saved.
I must say real quick, Barbara Bain looks rather fetching in that blue jumpsuit.
She does.
Normally she has like the business beige on, but this was like the royal blue. Looked very good on her. Brought out her eyes. Very nice. So, and Tony's okay, everybody. I knew you were sweating it there for a minute, but he's good.
Yeah, he'll be there for the finale.
He'll be making shitty beer as quickly.
Yes.
Just as soon as he's able.
Oh, so sadly, as the four return to find their base camp missing, Bill Fraser appears to tell them it has been evacuated and everyone is waiting on the Eagle to return to Alpha before it moves out of range. What is once again a perfect planet.
Habitable planet.
Perfectly habitable.
Bill Fraser comes to wrap up all the plotline loose ends. Good night, everybody.
Yes. Bill, hey guys, we're ready to go. All right.
Yep, we wrapped it all up while you were in there. Bye.
Right. So yeah, that's the immunity syndrome. Entertaining to talk with you about, but
yes. Kind of slow.
Yeah, kind of nothing. Kind of,
like some episodes have an idea that they can run with and stay interesting with through the whole episode. Some episodes just have an idea and they just stick with that one idea, and that was this. It was like Lovecraft Light, you know.
Right.
You look at it, it drives you mad. That kind of situation. And it's a trope we've seen in other sci-fi. Like I said, I remember Babylon 5 as something like that. And I know if I were to look it up, I could find a movie that was a similar situation where the alien was trying to communicate, but it's just too much for humans to deal with. So, but yeah.
I mean, there are worse episodes, but
yes.
This was just kind of like, all right.
Middle of the pack, I'd say, for this one.
I will say, though, yeah, technically speaking, it was a little bit more proficient. Like the previous episode, we saw a little bit better, but the script wasn't working this one. And when you focus on Tony, you lose my focus as well, I guess. Well,
like you said, compared to like say the last episode, they had this whole alien civilization figured out with this thing going on. All that. This is just a monster.
Let's use our cast. We have not even monster. This is just a glowing light and saving money. And here's our cast that we tend to not do much with.
There you go.
Oh. Yeah, but here's a new ship. But that'll do it for another Moon Buggy adventure. In the meantime, Jim, what you doing? Where you at?
Well, every week. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, is there anything on? Anything on? No?
Nothing's on. Nothing's on. That's the name of the podcast. Nothing's on every week at the Taylor Network of Podcast.com or on, Amazon or iTunes, wherever you are, find mongers of podcasts all over the internet. Donnie and Daryl and I have a knuckleheaded take on the world of entertainment news. We record it every Sunday morning, and every Monday morning we put it out for your edification and pleasure. That's at the Taylor Network of Podcast.com. And next week, the Walking Dead TV podcast comes back as the show comes back for its show finale. Finally, the show is ending. We've been with the show since the beginning. We're sticking with the show until the end. Walking Dead TV podcast. That's at hhwlod.com.
Hashtag why safe, Tony. And I'm on Twitter and Instagram at BrandonPorkUHD. Written work at WhySoBlue.com. There's more for the Brandon Peters Show this week. But next week, we are here for the final episode of Space 1999. The end of Space. Like, we have no more. We can't do anything. We're not going to review Big Finish stories. Sorry.
No.
Sorry to Russell McGee for that, but he doesn't edit those.
We're not gonna review the Charlton comics.
Nope.
Oh, it's bad.
No fan fiction. But yeah, so stay tuned. We wrap it all up next week for Dork Cons.
Dork Cons.
Dork Cons.
Yeah. Comic Cons. Dork Cons.
Yeah. Come check us out next week, Dork Cons. But until then,
Alpha out.
Thank you for listening. The Brandon Peters Show is a Creative Zombie Studios production. Produced by Brad Shoemaker and Brandon Peters. Written and edited by Brandon Peters. Announcer vocals by Jessica Alsman. Theme song by Metavari. Web design and show art by Brad Shoemaker with Brandon Peters. All music and clips featured in the episode are property of their respective studios, and no infringement is intended. Additional information on this and other episodes at BrandonPetersShow.com. For any inquiries, press opportunities, or sponsorship, contact mail at BrandonPetersShow.com. The show is available on Apple Music, Spotify, or anywhere podcasts are found.